Dear participants in World Owl Conference 2019, I would like to present our study Forest Birds of Pirin in a Threat, Changes in Distribution and Population Sizes 2001-2019 and Locations Endangered by Ski Resorts Development in Bulgaria. My name is Andrey Ralev from Balkani Wildlife Society, and together with Dr. Petr Shurulinkov from the National Museum of Natural History and 6 other experts, we conducted this study in 2019. A short introduction to the study area. Pirin National Park is one of the 3 national parks of Bulgaria. All of these 3 national parks are less than 2% of the territory of the country. Pirin and Central Balkans are already UNESCO heritage sites. As you can see from this slide, national parks are poor wilderness. We have a pretty good protected areas law in Bulgaria, where maintenance of biodiversity and protecting wildlife is the main purpose of the national parks. And in the national parks, it is forbidden all types of construction except of touristic shelters, huts, and the repairment of existing buildings, roads, port, and other facilities. And also it is forbidden production activities, including logging. So coming back to Pirin, in 2001 and 2002, baseline studies were done for forest birds in order to produce the first management plan of the park. For Tengmaun's owl, the results were stunning. We had 23 points with the owl in 38 study points, and we suppose that we found at least 30 pairs. So the total number of pairs in the park was supposed to be around 200. It was interesting that no pygmy owls were found until 2019 in Pirin National Park. And after that, things changed very quickly. In 2005 and 2006, construction started of the illegal expansion of Bansko ski resort in the Pirin National Park and the UNESCO site. In 2015, a new management plan was proposed. You can see in red here all the areas where new construction or logging was allowed according to this proposal. Fortunately, this management plan is not approved yet. We have been able to fight against it successfully up to now. That's why we designed our study not only from scientific point of view, but also from conservation point of view. We decided to compare the changes between 2001 and 2019 in the distribution and population status of the rare birds from the Red Data Book and from the EU Birds Directive. And our methodology was focused on surveys in areas proposed as new touristic zones and areas where we had previous locations of the rare birds. So we did more than 100 expert days in spring and autumn 2019. The transects were done in suitable habitats for the different species. During the day, we did transects for pygmy owl, capercaillie, and woodpeckers, and during the night for pygmy owl again, for Tengmaun's owl, and for woodcock. We gathered also data about bird behavior, suitable habitats, meteorological conditions, etc. We are proud of the results of the study, like, for example, the first records of pygmy owl, Glaucidum passarinum. And this is the first video in Pirin National Park. We recorded 13 occupied territories of Eurasian pygmy owl, mostly in spruce and Macedonian pine, but sometimes also in Scots and Bosnian pine forests. This is completely new data, as there were only undocumented observations in 2003 and 2014. We applied an improved methodology with sound provocation during the whole day. We can conclude that the pygmy owl is widely distributed in the forests of Pirin National Park, and there could be a possible increase due to the low intensity of logging and decrease of the population of tangmouse owl. Undoubtedly, the colonization of the Pirin National Park is not a new event, as it has a relict distribution, just like in the rest of the mountains where it is found, Rila, Western Rhodops, Slavianka, Central Balkans, and also the southern part of Pirin. The next species is the Tawny owl. We discovered 19 occupied territories, mostly in beech and mixed forests, but some of them are in pure coniferous forests. We observe a moderate increase in the population, around 28.6% compared to 2001-2002. We assume that the increase in the population is due to the growth of the beech and the mixed forests after low intensity of logging in the national park. And for the 20 years period, more and more stands become suitable for the species that is pretty adaptable. The biggest effort in our study was put to the tangmouse owl, Aegolius funareus. We recorded 27 territories, 18 are more or less the same as 2001-2002, and 9 are in completely new areas. Most of them are in spruce and Macedonian pine forests, but a few also in Scots and Bosnian pine forests. A moderate decrease, around 21.7%, was recorded compared to 2001-2002. The decrease was well documented in the southern part of the national park, where most territories were abandoned. In the area of Bansko ski resort, the number of territories remained stable, but they changed substantially in their distribution. Most of the tangmouse sounds were found in the periphery of the resort, very far from Bandarica Glade, which was heavily constructed in 2005-2006. The average distance from the locations to the glade almost doubled in 18-19 years. Our conclusion is that there is a decrease in numbers due to several coexisting factors. The warming and the drying of climate the last 20 years led to the disappearing of the owl in southern, southwestern and southeastern slopes, and especially in Scots and Macedonian pine forests. Also, there are natural fluctuations in the population between years depending on the food, mostly small rodents and insects supply. Additionally, we encountered and documented a wide problem all around the park, the sanitary logging. It is disguised by the management of the park as maintenance and restoration activities in forests. And that type of forest management can have strong negative influence on the number of old-growth forest insects and woodpeckers. The woodpeckers are the only cavity producers for the tangmouse owl. The population around Bansko ski resort is still stable, but that is due to the optimal habitat in the surrounding. At least 7 pairs could disappear if further development of the ski resort is allowed. There's no more free optimal habitat. At the end, I would like to underline some conservation implications of our study. First, that Pirin National Park is a hotspot for relict forest species of birds. Second, that some of their best habitats are planned for construction or logging, activities that could threaten their breeding success. We have already seen this population decline around ski resorts of the capercaillie. Sanitary logging and climate change are other key negative factors for this species. And to ensure long-term survival of this species in the Pirin National Park, the newly proposed management plan should be substantially modified. Thank you very much for your attention.